Okay, so we're back here. My plaster has, just gently lift it, you can hear, kind of got a ringing sound to it. Little indentations are still visible from my nail where I just tapped it, but it's dry enough to handle. When I had it in the mould, I put my hand on the back, I turned it over and I peeled the mould away, not the mole, and that is what we are left with. Now, still be very careful with it. It's at a very crumbling stage. It can just risk snapping, so just be careful. I found a corner of my plasticine and I've started to peel away. Now, if you've sealed it well, it should just kind of peel away. And you can already begin to see the surface texture. I sort of hold it there, and I'm just going to keep peeling away now. This plasticine mould, you can just get all its bits of plaster off. You can scrunch it up and reuse it again. The soap and water I applied as a release agent has actually just been absorbed by the plaster, so it's not going to leave any greasiness on that. The advantage of soap and water, again, Vaseline would have a little greasy layer. So you can just make sure loose bits of plaster are off, scrunched up, and ready for the next one. So I'm going to keep peeling because I know I've got more under here. Be careful not to touch any of this surface at the moment because it's very fragile. Corner there. And if you've sealed your plaster well, it should just sort of crack away. I'm just going to tap that off. Now, the plaster you'll feel is warm to the touch. It's not hot as it's setting, but it's warm, and so the moisture is still evaporating. It's still curing. So what you need to do, ideally, you don't want to leave it on a flat surface because this will just end up damp. Ideally, if you can, you put it on little raised feet just to allow air to circulate all around it. Getting the last bits out. If there are some bits being fiddly, you can always get something like a knitting needle to help kind of get them out. Or even a little etching needle. So I think all of that is out. So that is the next stage. You can't ink up or do anything like that until this is completely and utterly bone dry. So I'm going to leave that for, it will be about 24 hours, if not longer, when it really needs to harden, where it finishes curing. So we're going to leave that. I'm going to find some little feet to raise up on, probably in the shape of our children's wooden blocks, and just raise that up and let it finish curing. So that's the result of that. Looking fun. And obviously you'll notice everything is in reverse now, so when I pressed into the plasticine, that has now become a positive texture. Brilliant.